very similar to what you have in your book. And they'll tell me about it, and I'll write them back, and I'll say, number one, does it frighten you? And they'll either, most of the times they write me back and they say no, and I'll tell them, then don't try to change it, because whatever you do, if you change that, they're going to manifest itself somewhere else.
So better the devil you know than the one you don't?
Yeah, exactly, because I know about the one you don't, because I did it myself.
Right.
I created some real negative things. But it is true, and ghosts are far more, plentiful than most people think. So there's some that, I've come over the years, I wind up calling them travelers. Mm-hmm. So they'll come through your house and maybe stay a day. And you can feel them, you can, at least I can, and I know that they're here, and then they're gone. So I call them travelers. Now, why they're traveling, I don't know. Maybe one of our investigators can someday answer that question.
I've always thought that people were trying to see, I don't know why they would wind up in your house or my house or whatever. I've always thought people were like, if I kick off and I get the opportunity, I'm going to go look at things I always wanted to see. If I get a chance to do that, I'm going on vacay.
It could be.
I am going.
It could be.
I'm going to London. I'm going to Africa. I'm going to, because the Serengeti draws me. I'm going to wherever. I'm climbing Everest. I'm doing all these things if I get the opportunity, because I really think that our energy just shifts. So I don't know. I've often thought that Brenda in chat is a mess. But anyway, I just think that there's so many things. I want to see Scotland castles. I want to see Irish castles. I want to go and see why they wrote the Blue Danube. There's things I want to see. So maybe they're just on their tour. I get things that come through here. Usually I think they're family, and then they're here, then they're gone. So.
Yeah, my family typically visits me around Christmas time. Mm-hmm. And I know they're there. And
have you had, out of curiosity, because you had an injury, and I know that when I was here with mine, I had people here. And my caregiver was even aware of them, and she is not normally aware of stuff like that. But when you were hurt, did people come to see you and support you? That you were aware of? Mm-hmm.
No, not that I know of. Not that I know of.
I was just curious about that, because I was really surprised.
I felt strongly that God was with me.
Absolutely.
And then my guardian angel was with me.
Angels were, yes. Well, your injury was much worse than mine, and I just think that probably you needed to feel that. I'm positive that you needed to be aware of that.
Oh, it gave me great comfort.
Yes.
But people in my life, actually, they don't understand or realize really how spiritual I am. So, I say a whole litany of prayers in the morning and at night. And I thank God for every day, because before I was 50, I had what was called a severe myocardial infarction. I should have died. I was in the emergency room table. The nurse came in that consoles you for the death, and they gave me a blind shot of TPA, which it was still a brand new drug. And it opened up my vein enough that allowed me to live, even though my heart was damaged. So, they let my heart recover for a week, and then they went in and did angioplasty and cleaned me out. But ever since then, I knew someone stepped in. It wasn't me.
Right.
It wasn't the doctor. Somebody stepped in. And ever since then, I've been a different man when it comes to God.
And, I'm so glad that they did. I know you are. But, I really think that it's just really amazing. And we have had someone join chat named Sean. And I know that you had stepped out of chat. And Sean said that he reads A Haunting at least once a year. It's the only book that he will reread. I can see that.
Which one?
True Haunting.
I'll be damned. Well, thank you, Sean.
That's quite a compliment, because there's an awful lot of things out there to choose from. I feel like that.
Well,
I love your books.
I was sort of fortunate in that when I wrote the bones of that book, it was over 30 years ago.
Right.
And it was a book that stayed on my bookshelf in manuscript form that my kids could read or whatever. And it never was intended to go public. And it was my youngest daughter, with the advent of e-books and all that good stuff. She said, "Dad, publish this." So I quickly put it into manuscript form, and I gave it to her. And there's a couple things in there that I goofed, because it was my personal comments. And there was one where I called my Aunt Helen my favorite Aunt Helen.
Oh dear.
Well, that pissed off my other couple aunts.
That was a lesson learned, right?
Yeah, and but it just went out that way, and it was a time before when I wrote that I had no imagery. That's just something that people can't understand maybe. But when we were bothered in 1970, there was no images to imagine. Today, someone can have a spirit in their house. They can imagine all kinds of things they've seen in movies. We had nothing to draw on. So, of course, I was a little braver than maybe I would have been, because I had nothing to draw on.
Yes.
And it wasn't until years later that Hollywood started coming with the images and special effects and all this good stuff. And people, sometimes use them. So I was on a radio program once where the woman said she's got a portal in her bathroom. And I said, it's in your bathroom? And she said, yeah. And I said, is it always open? And she said, yeah, they come and they go. And I said, do me a favor. And I said, I'll give you my phone number after on break. I said, do me a favor. She said, what? I was on the air now, and I said, stick your head in the portal. And the host started laughing. And I said, I'm serious. I want to know what the hell's on the other side.
Yep.
I never heard from her, of course.
Of course not. But, it would have been cool if you did.
Yeah, I would have loved to hear that. The questions have been asked. After we left Campbell Street, I hung around with Daryl Davis, the exorcist, and more with Joe DeLuise, the psychic medium. And then I added a hypnotist to my group of people, and he did regressions, which were amazing.
Oh. He'd
take people back and unless you see it, it's just amazing. And when it happens, it's real. And then I met a Olaf Johnson, who was his book's on him. He's a world-class telekinetic, and his talents were amazing. And we would sit and talk about various things, and they each had a different talent, a different way. And I just had a real firm grasp for what I thought reality was in the paranormal world. And then I come out and I pull the curtain back, and people are finding stuff under houses, and they're doing all kinds of crap. And it's like none of that's actually paranormal. It's like entertainment.
Right.
And it's good entertainment. So, I'll never put anybody down for that.
Well, no, I mean, they're doing a job.
No,
And
absolutely.
there's
And they
all
have to
kinds of
make,
jobs.
yeah, they have to make ratings.
Yes.
So,
And,
I mean,
I
they're
think
going to
that's
do
where
whatever.
people... I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's where people forget sometimes, because there's one individual who is probably the best known paranormal investigator on the planet, who does not investigate in a manner that most people would, yet his ratings are astounding. And he has so much pull with the network that he's involved with that he gets a lot of control with that. So he's got a great job. And does a great job. He does a great job for what they hired him to do. And people forget sometimes that that's what this is. And it doesn't matter what show you're watching. That's their job. They're drawing a living from doing that. It is entertainment. And, you have to appreciate the longevity of this particular individual in his job. And you have to appreciate the fact that others who held similar jobs are coming back now that their no competes are gone. So it's really a really interesting thing that people think this is all. Every show is a reality show when it's actually entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, even Paranormal Witness, and the people I met strove to be honest.
Yes.
So they were striving to have pure reality, and consequently, when my name is on the screen at the beginning of the program, they refused to put author on there because they said that kind of implies it might be scripted.
Oh, okay. Well, good point.
Well, they did the episode that we were the season finale. We shattered all their records.
Right.
So based on our ratings, Paranormal Witness was issued 20 more episodes for the next season.
So you helped everybody else get work too.
At which time I told them, you're not going to get 20 good ghost stories. Ain't going to happen. And none of them were believers in the paranormal. None of the directors or producers or anything.
That's
interesting. And I said, you got to hire somebody. I said, you got to get somebody on your staff who knows what the guidelines are. Because one of the things why I didn't want to do Paranormal Witnesses, when they contacted me, I watched their first 3 episodes. And one of their first 3 episodes was just hilarious. And I thought, these people are just idiots. But, they convinced me to do it. And my grandkids, who are sci-fi nuts,
Yeah.
Papa, you got to do it. So I figured, oh, what the hell.
That's as good a reason as any. And that being said, we've got to take our final break. We'll be back in 2 minutes, I promise, guys. Y'all just hang with us.